Hello. I thought I'd just come on here and do a reading and channel goal video for 2021. I feel like it's already a little late to do this, but I just wanted to set out my intentions, you know what I mean? So I thought I would first just start with my reading goals because I feel like they're more straightforward, and honestly I have fewer of them. My major goal last year was to read more fat books, and although I did hit that, it was not very satisfying to me overall. I sort of rethought how I was setting out goals for myself in general this year. I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people are sort of asking the question, why stress yourself out over something you do for fun? I've seen a ton of videos on here that have basically said, my goal this year is to read less. And the TLDR of my reading goals this year is that is also my goal. I am setting my Goodreads goal to 52 books. That is still a lot of books for me. As I mentioned in my 2020 in review video, before this last year, the most books that I'd ever read in a year was 40 books. That wasn't including audiobooks, which I do include now, so apples and oranges a little bit. But I am still planning on reading a lot of books, obviously, but it is much less than 100. Which is a goal that I got somewhat fixated on in 2020. Reading 100 books in 2020. 100 books by the end of the year. I also saw a video from What Page Are You On? I don't know their name, but I'll link their video down below. And they were saying that the goal was sort of to read only 52 books. Like, it wasn't like at least 52 books, which I really like the idea of. I don't think I'm gonna set 52 books as my cap, but I do like thinking of my Goodreads goal not as at least, but as like a target, you know? So hopefully that'll help me throughout this year not always be focused on more, and instead sort of be able to branch out and like read outside my comfort zone, read things that are not going directly towards my book count overall, sort of get into books that I know that I'm not going to read straight through, but just want to browse. All these things that I think reading can do, but get sort of lost when you're in the numbers game, which I think a lot of people on Booktube are. Like, I also get very into like the competitive reading game, even though I'm really just competing with myself. But I'm just gonna like try to cool my jets on that this year and just like enjoy the process. I still want my goal to be motivating in terms of like making sure that I picked up books in my free time, but not necessarily a stressor in general. I think a lot of people are having this feeling right now. Another reason that I thought having a more chill Goodreads reading challenge this year is that I have a New Yorker problem.
Oh, come on. You and I both know I'll never read those.
Of course you won't. But they'll just keep coming.
And I need to deal with it, and we're gonna talk about it right now because, like, I don't know who else to turn to. It's bad. I'm like, okay, let me just like, here's my problem. Let me go get my problem. Oh god. So this is my New Yorker problem. I've had a New Yorker subscription basically as long as I've been an adult. I apparently never toss them. When I read them, I don't want to toss them because I'm like, oh, but then I'll never find this really interesting article again. And most of the time, I'm just not reading them and they're piling up and I'm like, oh, but there's such good long-form journalism and essays in there and that's like what I want to read. So they just pile up. This is not, oh god, sorry. This is not even all of them. Literally, when I moved into this apartment 5 years ago, I brought a stack of New Yorkers with me. At some point, I decided, do you know what the real problem is here? The real problem is that there are a whole bunch of, like, ads and stuff in these New Yorkers. And what I should do is I should take all of my New Yorkers and rip out the articles that I actually want to read and staple them together. So I did that for a while. I can't even grab this right now. Oh my god. And I ended up with these. I literally just have like little packets of like compressed New Yorkers in here that I was like, I'm definitely gonna read these after I rip out these articles and staple them all together. And you might notice here, I have this problem as well. My roommate got a subscription to The Economist like 3 years ago, and when she moved out, they just never stopped coming. She never read them, I never read them, but they're just in my pile, because I'm like, oh, The Economist has great writing, I couldn't possibly throw them out. So, anyways, all that being said, this stresses me out. And I need to deal with it, and I'm moving this year, like sometime in the next 6 months. I'm moving. Am I gonna take this entire stack of Economists and New Yorkers with me? I refuse. I will not. I did that once. That was a huge mistake. What were you thinking, Emma? So, I need to deal with this. I feel like I got very worked up over this. All of this is to say that I have some reading to do that is not in book form, and I really need to get to it, and I'm gonna have to declare New Yorker bankruptcy when I move out of this apartment. Like, these are all gonna have to go. I think my biggest holdups with reading the New Yorker these days is that A, it does not count towards a total book count, as I was saying. So I think having a lower book goal is gonna help me prioritize these guys. So that's good. The other thing is that I think like the sort of record keeping aspect of like having and owning books is something that I find really satisfying. Like, I read a great book, I have it on my shelf, I can look at it and be like, oh, that's that great book. I can open it, I can like flip through it, I have annotations in it. I love that. I cannot do that with infinity New Yorkers. So I think I'm gonna go back. I used to do a pretty good job of like taking notes on different articles that I found really interesting and like keeping them all in the same spot and remembering great pieces of writing that I'd read that way. And I think I'm gonna try to get back to doing that with these New Yorkers, mainly because I think that that is a way that I can like read something that's not in a permanent object and keep some of it with me, but not keep the whole stack with me. In sort of the same way, I'm thinking in 2021, in my monthly wrap-ups, I might start mentioning 2 or 3 interesting things online or in magazine that I've read, just linking them so I can feel like I'm like recording my feelings about this like great writing somewhere, and that it's not just like vanishing into the atmosphere. I get like anxious about this stuff because I truly have a terrible memory. So like if I'm not like recording or like reminding myself with a physical object in some way, like it's just gone. Like 2 weeks after I read something, it's just not there anymore. So these are gonna be my mechanisms for dealing with this problem. I don't know how many of these I'm actually going to get through before I have to move. It's definitely not going to be all of them. I'm going to try my hardest. So, that was a lot higher emotion than I thought it was going to be. I did not know how much angst this stack was giving me. But let's get on to some channel goals. I feel like these are going to be sort of like more straightforward. Booktube was a new thing to me in 2020, so that was really fun. Honestly, it is like the best thing that I started or did in 2020. I have super enjoyed watching your videos, making my videos, hanging out with some good book people online. So thank you all for like the wonderful community that you make on here. And yeah, it's just like something that going into 2020, I could have never expected. Honestly, like I did not even discover Booktube was a community until March. So yeah, who knew it was going to be like such an important part of my year? I love it. So in sort of like community spirit, I really do want to participate in more community organized events on here. I did just sign up to be a judge for the Booktube prizes, which I'm excited about. I don't know if there's like a deadline on that, so hopefully I got my application in on time, but I think that's going to be really fun. I really want to do more readathons and read-alongs and go to people's live shows and stuff like that. I would like to try doing a live reading thing myself, like either set up some reading sprints or just like chat with some Booktube people while streaming. Seems fun. Along those lines, I would like to reach out more to the bookish people on this platform. I've made some really great friends here, but I still feel like I'm sort of weirdly anxious about reaching out and suggesting that we do stuff together, or like initiating that. So I'm gonna try to like get over that a little bit and just be like, let's do some stuff. Let's do some stuff. These are all separate bullet points. I'm just sort of like mashing them together, but just some stuff I want to do. Another thing that I'd like to do that's sort of off YouTube, but sort of related, is I would really like to figure out the rest of the book internet a little bit more. I've just gotten onto Instagram, and my life is not aesthetic. I do not live in an aesthetic apartment. I do not own aesthetic stuff. I'm like not good at that, but I have been really enjoying posting random shit on my stories, and that's been a lot of fun, and it's a lot easier to actually like talk to other Booktube people over there because you can DM and just reach out to people. So that's been really fun, and I feel like I'm a Luddite and I am very bad at all tech things, and I know that there are lots of other little pockets on the internet where book people are hanging out. So I would like to figure that out a little bit more. I would like to make a Discord account. I don't really know how to do that. I mean, like, okay, I know how to make a Discord account, but I go and make a Discord account, and then how do I find you guys? Where are you? Where are my people? So I'm gonna make a Discord account. I'm gonna be on Instagram more. Let me know what other like book things you like to do on the internet. I'm just curious. And then the last sort of channel goal is that I would like to start posting on some Thursdays. So like bump it up to maybe like 5 or 6 videos a month. I'm not really committing to this because I don't want to like promise something and then underperform, but I do feel like in the fall there were a lot of fun tags going by where I would be like, oh, I should do this one, and I would be like, oh, but I'm doing a vlog and I'm doing my wrap up, and then it's December and then whatever. So I think that I've been very sticking to my guns with only posting once a week. I think changing it up so I'm posting a little bit more will hopefully give me some more flexibility to engage in some of these things in real time or more real time. And also, hopefully, give me some more space to do some, like, different, more in-depth videos. In my first couple months here, I've definitely been sticking to wrap-ups and vlogs and tags, which are all a lot of fun, but I would really like to do some more in-depth discussions about books. I definitely, I have a list of video ideas that are not straight up tags or whatever that I would like to do. It's just like, I find it a little intimidating just because it's honestly more, you need to do more prep work in order to like really have a good video that's not just like, this is what I read, or like, here's a list of books in terms of the fall colors or whatever. Not to yuck any of those videos. I don't know where I'm going with this right now. Basically, I'd like to like start getting a little bit more creative with my content, and that's gonna take some more effort, but it's something that I would really like to prioritize in 2021 because I think that that's, I don't know, a fun part of Booktube. And I always like other people's videos when they go out on a limb and try something new in general. So I think that's it. I think this video has probably been a hot mess, and I'm sorry, but I am very excited to be here and be reading and be on Booktube for 2021, and let me know in the comments what you're thinking for 2021, any goals. If you have like suggestions for my channel, I am always interested in getting feedback in terms of like what people are actually interested in. So I hope you have a good week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. This giant stack of economists and new so basically, why can't I talk? What am I doing? Okay.